folks, and welcome back here to Gatekeeper Media as we bring you the conclusion of our first postseason event for the Disc Golf Pro Tour. It's the Green Mountain Championship out at Smuggler's Notch in Vermont, and we are with our chase card back at Fox Run Meadows. We appreciate you all for tuning in. A special thank you going to our Patreon supporters. My name is Dustin Murray, and joining me for the commentary, as always, is Nathan Queen. How's it going, dude?
Doing well down here in the dry south, as up in Vermont today. They might get a little bit wet. We get to watch Paul McBeth, Bradley Williams, Gannon Buhr, and Linus Carlsson today.
Indeed, as you can see, Ricky Wysocki's kind of set the pace a couple of strokes ahead. Closest person to the lead here from our chase cards, Paul McBeth, at 7 strokes behind. So got a lot of work to do in tough conditions as we start out here with Paul McBeth. Putts with the Luna. Also, we'll throw it, throws the Zone, Buzz, and Wasp for some mid-ranges. And then, of course, we're going to see Captain's Raptor, Onyx, Zeus, and Force for some of his main drivers.
And then Bradley Williams, just like the last couple days, still putting with the Firefly and Pig. We may see some of that Gator out here in the open. Going to some T-Birds rates and probably see some Destroyers now that we're out in the open also.
And we get the Gannon Buhr. He'll be throwing the PA3 for his putting putter, uses the distortion in A2 for some forehand approaches, likes the M4 and M2 for his mids, and then we will probably see some different FX series disc as well as the D3 and Falcor and D1 for distance.
And Linus putting with the Judge. We'll see the Harps, probably some Justices out here in the open. Really leans on the Pioneer a lot for the fairway drivers, and then Rives and Glories for those distance shots. Straight into hole 1. Don't need a ton of distance, 565 feet. Got to make it over the OB area to make it inbounds. If you get just past that white tree in the middle, then you've done pretty well and should have a fairly simple upshot.
Of course, plenty of accolades to introduce Paul McBeth with, but he is fresh off his 6th world title after that intense battle with Aaron Gossage. Also won Waco at the start of the year and has many other podium finishes. And of course, these players are looking to get off the tee quick in these wet conditions.
And just squeaking over there.
And Bradley Williams joined us for our 3rd time this tournament. Currently ranked 24 in the UDIS World Rankings, 22nd in the Pro Tour points. Won the Preserve earlier this year. Got top 10 at Belton, top 15 at Masters Cup, Idlewild, and the Beaver State Fling. A couple of top 20s at Waco and DDO, so been a pretty consistent performer this year.
Bradley's one that I feel like could do well in the rain. He's got very smooth form, nothing that could really make him slip too much.
As I said, the young gun on tour was last year's Rookie of the Year, currently ranked 7th in the UDIS World Rankings and 4th in the Pro Tour points. Won Masters Cup and Clash of the Cannons this year. Also podium finishes at Las Vegas, Mid-America, and Ledgestone with 5 additional top 5 appearances. And he's never placed below the top 25.
And gets a great first drive off in the rain.
That's right, Linus Carlsson out of Sweden. Currently ranked 34th in the UDIS World Rankings and 47th on the Pro Tour points. So has some work to do to try to qualify for the finale, but it's doing well at this event so far.
There's a nice hyzer off to the right side, but gets a really huge skip and even more unfortunate roll. I thought that was staying in bounds the entire time I was watching it.
Yeah, that's just not a bad break you're used to seeing on this hole. Paul lets that get away with them, so he's going to be OB here. You can see those wet conditions are already starting to have an impact on our players.
Yeah, very tough. to really maintain focus when you're trying to go that quick to make sure that you can have the right grip and throw the disc correctly. Really throws off your focus. You know, you gotta. Rain doesn't just bring in one thing, it brings in quite a few.
About getting good grip on the disc, keeping the disc dry between throws. Also, your hands can get kind of sticky once you start drying them off, and yeah, there's a lot that happens.
Yeah, and when you're used to taking some time to line up your shot and set up, you see all of these up shots are coming up to circle's edge instead of inside that 15 feet like they're all used to, and that a lot of that's just from going quickly, I think.
I mean, what a polish save from Paul McBeth. He's been hitting some crazy long putts these last couple of weeks.
Yeah, never had a doubt when it left his hand. Just dead center on it.
That's a great way to save par after the OB on the upshot, that's for sure.
Strange way to start the round, but I'm sure he's happy with the par.
Not quite connecting there as Bradley Williams, as we now get to Linus Carlsson, who's actually done pretty well on tour this year. Gonna miss that putt, but he's had a couple of top 25 finishes on tour, I think 5 or so, and he had 15th at Masters Cup, so when he has been stateside, he's had some good results.
Yeah, hasn't been here all year and still able to be inside the top 50 right now, so. And it's getting harder and harder to be towards the top on this Pro Tour. There's a lot of players, if you go down that list, that you kind of would expect to see them in the championship that are fighting to get in right now.
Very true. And like I said, with someone like Linus who doesn't, play all the time over here, coming from Sweden, it's a little bit harder to get those Pro Tour points. Which is why I kind of wanted to mention some of his results, because I feel like his Porto point rating might be a little skewed.
As we see 3 pars and 1 bogey on hole 1, going into an easier par 3, but rain is going to make it much more difficult. Have to hit a fairly tight gap, and there's OB right, OB long, eventually OB left, I think, but that's pretty hard to get to.
And a couple of misfires off the tee here with some of these backhands, just not quite finding the gap all the way.
Yeah, that's what I was referring to with the rain, making this one a bit more difficult.
Solid shot, though, from Gannon Buhr. We'll get him near the edge of circle 1.
Almost a brutal kick into the out of bounds, but does stay in.
That one kind of gets caught up as well from Linus, though he makes a little bit more progress than Bradley and Paul. Dedicated gallery here with the umbrellas out, still watching some golf, though.
Definitely so. They're excited to have these pro players up in their area. A lot of people probably traveled just to have a vacation here also.
Yeah, Smuggler's Notch has quite a lot of amenities. I struggle to say that word, but yes, there's a lot of stuff to do there. It's definitely on my disc golf bucket list place to visit. Haven't been able to get there.
It should be on everybody's. If it's not on yours right now, go ahead and put it on there. You will enjoy it.
I'll tell you what, these guys aren't enjoying this hole right now.
Yeah,
it's showing its teeth, that's for sure.
I was gonna say, pick more than one day, just in case it's like this. Oh, Gannon.
At least he used the rag and not his hand, because the tree always wins.
Yeah, it's just what that rain can do to you. It's very frustrating. You try to hurry up so that you have an opportunity, but hurrying up takes that opportunity away also. It's a very it's a learning process. It's not something you really do right away. Playing in the rain takes a little bit to get used to. Gannon Buhr is pretty young. Probably hasn't had a whole lot of time to get used to it. As we move into hole 3, 300-foot par 3. Got a Mando this year, keeping you going down the gap. OB right side, OB long. Pretty touchy shot without the rain. Gonna make it even touchier, harder to get that distance right.
Oh, McBeth nearly found it. Catches one of those trees right kind of near the entrance to the green.
As Linus also nearly getting it right, just barely low. Gonna have a circle 2 look, but downhill very fast to look.
Yeah, with the OB deep of the pin, it makes it that much scarier. Bradley plays towards the right-hand side here with that, but comes up short. And is he OB? No.
He was flirting with it. Luckily, he didn't get a mean kick over to the right side. Oh. Gannon drops down pretty nicely to not miss the mandatory. Gonna have a look to get up and down for par.
That's a good upshot to at least walk away with no damage. Bradley not even wanting to mess with this one with that OB deep of the pin. Can't blame him. Same with Linus.
Yeah, he didn't even think about it. Walked up with the umbrella.
Meanwhile, Paul quietly grabs the birdie from outside the circle. Couple of long putts already here in 3 holes.
Yeah, first birdie on our card today, and he's also the only one without a bogey after making that long circle 2, maybe outside circle 2 putt on hole 1. Tap in a few pars and move on to hole 4.
My name's Garrett Gerthy. People may know me as Double G, and I've been making Double G craft jerky since I was 16 years old.
And while Kona and I are driving, don't have time to stop and eat, so I always have her grab me a small bag of Double G jerky.
You got smash cracked pepper on Tuesday. Wednesday you got the garlic.
Late in the round, hole 14, you might need a little pick-me-up. Pull out some Double G jerky.
Grab the big bag because you're gonna have to share.
You can find Double G craft jerky at doublegjerky.com.
Right here after that decently long walk to hole 4, 629-foot par 4. Throw it up to somewhere around right here. If you can miss that bush, you're going to be in a good area. This weather's going to make this one a lot trickier. You've got to get high over these bushes and trees off to the right. If something slips out, you can miss that height. Not get the turnover you need either. Like this is looking like.
Yeah, that's OB for sure. And yeah, that bush you're talking about is about 390 feet from the tee, so you need to clear that. And again, make sure you have the right angle so you don't drift off left too early like that one did.
And this is definitely gonna miss that OB, and he smashed it past that bush. What an incredible shot. Especially adding the rain in there.
Yeah, it's probably over 450 on that one. Great landing zone to approach the green for birdie.
And Bradley coming up inbound's going to be shorter than that bush, but should have a fairly open look. May have to go up over top of it if he's not far enough right.
Again, it's like that cool guy that walks away from explosions in action movies.
Yeah, he threw it where he wanted to, so no need to watch it if you know where it's going, I guess. You can't see where it lands anyway.
That is true.
So yeah, it looks like Bradley is having to go up a little bit over top of that bush.
Ooh, that's scary.
Goes big turnover and ends up too long. Gonna have a circle 2 look coming back for the par.
It's fading a little early for Gannon, but stays in and still within circle 1, it looks like.
Yeah, it looks like the rain may be slowing down a little bit. Doesn't look quite as hard as it was those first couple of holes.
As Linus putting a move on that thing. What a well-played hole from Carlsson.
Yeah, much farther drive than you typically see somebody go for.
True.
Puts him in great position, gets it inside that ring of rocks. It's Gannon using that extra 6 inches of height he's got on most people to cover his disc up.
Yeah, he's having a tough time on the putting green, though, with the rain.
Yeah, I don't know if we all know, but Gannon is definitely one that can take a little bit longer on the putting green. So I could definitely see having to go faster than his normal pace, throwing him off, and then throw the grip in there too. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully he'll be able to pull it back together though, or maybe this rain will stop.
Linus grabs the birdie, though. Gets him back to even on the round as we head over to hole number 5.
Yeah, another par 3. Very difficult par 3. 445 feet. Got this gap to hit. If you go a little higher, it's a little bit easier to avoid that gap. But just a pretty difficult shot to pinpoint. We've got OB everywhere along the way. This is fading out a little early.
Yeah, this is a very tough birdie to get, even in good conditions.
See, this one comes out low and left, but just sneaks underneath the one hole of branches in that tree.
And Bradley trying to kind of just play this gap, and he's done it well. Just doesn't really get the ground action. Just kind of sticks in the wet grass, and so a long putt ahead of him. Now this has potential. Oh, baby. Sit.
Wow.
Good
Almost
shot.
skips it in and just so smooth. He doesn't look like he threw that 450 feet.
Must be nice to just have effortless 445-foot distance.
Yeah, that was an incredible shot. And look at this. It seems as though the rain has subsided. It's still raining on half of the lake over there. Nope, now it's the whole lake. It's back again. And Bradley, given that what he probably thought was a pretty safe bid, ended up landing low on a slope, but still almost rolled OB.
Gannon finally gets himself a birdie putt here, so battling back to 1 over for now. Maybe that will kind of help get the middle game back right. So we'll see some pars being tapped in now with the rest of the card.
Yeah, and just 8 birdies on the hole on the day. There was a cut, so only 39 players. 8 of them getting a birdie. Into hole 6, once again, the easiest hole on tour. 266 feet, averaged at a 2.15 today.
That's a lot of birdies.
It is a lot of birdies, and this is a little sawed off. Ooh. But gets a nice rollout off of the hole in the wall. I'm not really sure what he hit there, but very fortunate.
Solid shot there as well. Puts him right near the bullseye for birdie.
That is what you want.
Bradley bounces up there as well. So everyone knowing that circle one range for birdie here. This is the longest putt we have, and it's still only probably 20.
Yep. Count it. 20 feet. Second birdie of the round, getting him to under par.
Chance. Oh, back to back for Gannon. Gets him back to even.
Yeah. Great bounce back after 3 missed putts already on a couple holes. Able to connect on that one. Bradley and Paul are going to tap in as well. All birdies on the card as 34 players out of 39 got the birdie. Into hole 7, par 5, 1,264 feet. Probably won't see anybody go for over that ditch today. Just going to see that layup play, 320, 340 feet or so. Throw a big shot over the OB ditch into the inbounds area on the right before you carry more OB down to the pin, and it's very easy to go long on your third shot.
Yeah, the third shot's definitely your moneymaker on this hole. This is one of the longest holes on tour.
Yeah, it doesn't quite play that way with the downhill, but definitely one of the bigger numbers that you see.
Everyone so far is kind of playing that, chip hyzer, like you said, kind of just over 300 feet short of the OB deep on this first island.
Yeah, and all of them doing it pretty well so far.
Oh, this needs to get down. I'm just kidding. It's totally fine. Try to add a little extra excitement, a little drama. There is none to be had, though, on the first shot of this hole, really.
No, not on this one. This second shot, though, it can add a little bit.
There's a little spice on this one.
Players are going for some more distance. And Gannon going for big distance on this one. And
dude,
just gets enough to get out to that the belly of the fairway that kind of juts off to the left over there.
That's going to make that third approach shot to the green a lot less stressful when you're getting that much.
Paul not biting off as much distance, but lands up there in the fairway.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, didn't get the snap he was looking for on that one to get it to drift over to the right. Maybe got it a bit too nose up, just kind of stalled out on him.
This has the same risk added to it. No, just fine. I'm crazy.
Yeah, I believe that disc was moving a bit faster.
Fair.
Paul, this is a good distance here. Looks to be maybe 380 plus. and just absolutely perfect.
Yeah, that is what you call parked.
And Bradley, maybe just slightly closer, but now trying to get up and down for a par after throwing OB, and actually may have put it a little closer. That's another great shot into this very stressful green.
Yeah, you got to have it just right, otherwise you could be finding OB. And I mean, everyone is just parking this thing. It's unreal.
Well, the rain stopped, so everything feels so easy right now.
Oh, okay. It's the buff.
Yeah. They were just dealing with some super tough conditions. It stopped completely, so now it's just like, all right, I know what I'm doing.
Got a long putt here for Gannon, though. It didn't quite nail the approach and misses the stepper. So we're going to see a couple of pars and a couple of birdies here on hole 7.
Yeah, it's about average on the day. 36% birdie, 41% par. Moving into hole 8. A very difficult hole to get the birdie on. 743 feet. Plays uphill the entire way. Have to push out pretty far before you move right off of the tee shot. Righty backhand is the best way to get the most distance on this, so you can attack the green. If you go with the forehand, unless you really have about 500 feet of forehand hyzer power, it's going to be difficult to get there.
And Linus, just you could tell right away, he had it nose up, didn't quite get over on it, and is going to go OB because of that.
As Paul does get enough anhyzer on it and makes it around the corner. Doesn't get a ton of carry. Still going to be pretty far back.
Kind of cut rolls there for Gannon Buhr, but still in a pretty decent spot.
Yeah, it looked to be a similar spot to Paul.
And this is risky, but is still fine. I think Bradley didn't like it out of his hand, but wound up still being all right.
Yeah, maybe made 2 mistakes instead of just one. Didn't get the turnover or the power on it. So it just kind of died out. It's a good recovery shot from Linus, about all you can do. He's going to just try to get up and down for his bogey.
Definitely one of those holes you're not going to see birdie too often. You have to get so much distance off the tee to feel comfortable trying to approach this really tight green where, I mean, the OB comes, I mean, well within circle one, particularly on the backside.
Yeah, as Gannon has easy 550 feet power, and he's not even trying to attack from back there where he's at. This does look like an attack face from Paul, though. Nope.
Might fancy his chances more on a longer, like, putt throw-in type situation rather than on that. Solid approach there.
And Bradley should be up and down for his par from there. Only 3 birdies on the day today. And Gannon not quite one of them.
Almost added a 4th.
And Paul not quite giving that one the bid that he wanted to. But Silas Schultz, Anthony Barella, and long-throwing lefty Austin Turner, the only 3 of the 39 in the field today able to card the birdie.
Shout out to Silas. He's from the southeast where I'm at, out in Louisiana, I believe. See him in some of my local tournaments.
So 1 bogey, 3 pars on the 3rd most difficult hole. Moving into the most difficult hole, 480-foot downhill par 3. OB left the entire way, OB right the entire way. That tightens up even more by the basket. And curls around behind it too. Difficult to go long on this one as you're really trying to control it and make sure you stay in the fairway.
Yeah, definitely a very daunting hole to play.
And that's in putting position. A scary one, but he's going to be inside circle too.
Oh, and this looks beautiful from Gannon. Oh, such a big skip, though, but still edge of circle 1.
Yeah, for as slow as that was flying, surprised to see such a big skip down there at the bottom. This is a little bit in jeopardy.
Man, that is down to the wire.
That's in bounds? I guess it is.
Yeah, that was, I mean, right on the line. And as Linus has kind of yanked this one out a little wide, but it's fighting back nicely. Well done.
Flirting with the OB the entire way, ends up possibly the closest of the group. And a smart play from Bradley there, as it doesn't look like much of a slope here on the screen, but can get away from you pretty quickly.
Oh, wow.
Paul knew he missed it out of his hand, and it just barely missed low left.
Yeah, that was a great attempt. Speaking of great attempts, Gannon Buhr gets more than the attempt. He gets the success. That is another birdie for him. Now he's finally under par for the round. I'm sure that was a rare birdie on the day.
It was just 6 players. But this one did cause more bogeys for sure than the last hole. Had 11 players take a bogey and 3 with a double bogey.
So we'll see the rest of the card just kind of tap out here. Going to be pars aplenty for our chase card with Gannon Buhr carding the solo bird to end the front half of the course.
Yeah, everybody just kind of hanging in there. Paul making a little bit of move up the leaderboard. The rest of them just trying to fight back after that rough start in the rain. Did get some birdies on there. Paul McBeth 3 down through the front 9. Gannon Buhr, Linus Carlsson 1 down. Bradley Williams just starting to get some birdies on there, sitting at 1 over.
And you can see Ricky Wysocki kind of starting around with a little bit. It's 3 strokes ahead of Chris Dickerson, and after that, it starts to really see some separation. We'll see what our chase car can do on the back 9 here shortly. Certainly appreciate all of you tuning into our coverage here. We hope that you'll follow up and subscribe here on the YouTube channel so you can catch the rest of GMC and the rest of the season this year, as well as just events down the road. Again, a thank you goes out to all the Patreon supporters who help make the coverage possible that you see here on your screen. And again, I'm Dustin Murray, and with me is Nathan Queen, and we'll see you soon on the back 9.
We'll see you guys out there.